Ever had a moment that completely shattered who you thought you were? Tonight's story is about the night I stopped being the good girl and discovered a side of myself I never knew existed. Between the neon lights, the pulsing music, and 3 people who changed everything, let's just say this dancer's solo turned into something way more interesting. This story is about breaking free, letting go, and discovering that sometimes the best nights start with saying yes instead of no. If you're ready to push past your comfort zone and unleash your wild side, stick around, hit that subscribe button. Let's dive into a night that changed everything. The bass wasn't just music anymore. It was taking over my body, matching my heartbeat beat for beat. There I was, centre stage, working it like I'd done 1,000 times before. The lights were pure magic, violet and silver, casting these crazy shadows over the crowd below. The guys at the tables, you could practically feel their eyes burning into you, all hungry smiles and notice me vibes. But up there, I wasn't just me. I was something else entirely. This untouchable goddess, living her best life, free and fierce. But real talk? That wasn't the actual me at all. In real life, I was that girl. You know, the type blushes if someone so much as looks at her wrong, would rather die than make eye contact in public. Queen of the thanks but no thanks club when it came to dates. It's not that I had anything against relationships or whatever. For real, I didn't. I just couldn't trust myself around others, or maybe they were the ones I couldn't trust. Either way, saying no was my comfort zone, my safety blanket in this crazy world. Girl, you absolutely crushed it tonight, Marina's voice cut through my thoughts as I came off stage. She tossed me a water bottle and wrapped me in one of her signature bear hugs, radiating that classic Marina energy that could probably power a small city. Thanks, I managed to squeak out over the still pounding music. Marina and I, total opposites. She was that girl who lived for attention, laughed like tomorrow didn't exist, and always, and I mean always, knew exactly what she wanted. Not going to lie, I was low-key jealous sometimes. She elbowed me playfully. Don't look now, but there are 2 absolute stunners at the bar who cannot take their eyes off you. I couldn't help it. I looked, and holy hell, were they something else? One was giving off total confident vibes with these sharp features and this smile that screamed trouble. The other one, built like a dream with these incredibly kind eyes and this quiet intensity that was somehow even more dangerous. Yeah, no, I said, shaking my head so fast I probably looked like a bobblehead. Come on, Sophia, seriously. Marina threw her hands up. I already chatted them up. They're totally normal people. It's one night. What's the worst that could happen? My stomach did this weird flip-flop thing. The worst that could happen? My brain went places, most of them ridiculous enough to make me cringe. But that fear was still there, nibbling away at my confidence. I was so over being the scared girl, always ready with a no. I don't know about this, Marina. I hedged, my voice doing that wavery thing I hate. Please. She hit me with the look. Trademark. The one I never could resist. Do it for me. I sighed, feeling that automatic no forming. But then I thought about my life lately. Predictable, boring, lonely AF. Maybe Marina had a point. Maybe it was time to shake things up. Fine, I heard myself say, like someone else was controlling my mouth. But just this once. The night air hit different as we left the club. and the city seemed pure magic, all gold and silver streaks, as we piled into this cab as if it was totally normal. There I was, squished next to Alex, aka Mr. Sharp Features, while Marina claimed her spot next to his friend. Alex flashed me this smile that made my heart skip, those teeth against that tan. Unfair. You're way quieter than I thought you'd be, he teased, but super gentle about it. I managed what probably looked like the most awkward smile ever. Yeah, I'm just kind of new to all this. First, date anxiety. I nodded, feeling my face go full tomato mode. But here's the thing, he didn't push it. Major points for that. Instead, he kept things light, and by the time we hit their place, I was actually starting to chill. Their apartment? Next level. We're talking straight up Instagram worthy. Sleek everything, windows for days showing off this insane city view. Marina and Jamie finally remembered his name, made themselves at home as if they owned the place, breaking out wine and getting some beats going. Meanwhile, there's me, hanging back like a total wallflower, watching everyone else living their best lives while I'm still trying to convince myself this is actually happening. You good? Alex's voice was all low and concerned as he appeared beside me. Totally, I said, way too fast to be believable. He just smiled, looking at me with these eyes that made me feel safe. We only do what you're comfortable with. And you know what? I actually believed him. That's when things started getting interesting. The wine was doing its thing, taking the edge off, but let's be real. My nerves were still doing the cha-cha under my skin. The whole vibe was unreal. The warmth, the mix of everyone's perfumes and colognes swirling together, that perfect background music creating this bubble where normal rules just didn't exist anymore. I couldn't even tell you who made the first move. Maybe Alex, maybe Marina. But the second his lips touched mine, my brain stopped working. His kiss started off sweet, as if he was asking permission, and it sent this electric current straight down my spine. My hands were doing this awkward hover thing over his shoulders, because where do you even put them? But he knew exactly what to do, his touch keeping me grounded when I felt like I might float away. Everything was suddenly in HD, his breath mixing with mine, that sexy stubble scratch on my cheek, the heat coming off him in waves, my heart going absolutely crazy. Partly because, damn, this was intense, but mostly because I'd never done anything like this in my life. Then Marina's laugh cut through everything. That signature sound that always made everything feel lighter. Girl, relax, she whispered, her voice doing that thing that makes your skin tingle. Then her hand found mine, our fingers tangled together, and before my brain could catch up with what was happening, she was kissing me too. For real, Marina's kiss? Totally different game. Where Alex was gentle, she was playful and bold, as if she was daring me to come out of my shell. My pulse went into overdrive, breath catching as her fingers traced my jaw, leaving this trail of electricity that had me shook. I felt Alex's grip tighten on my waist, keeping me steady while my knees decided whether they were still working. And you know what? I didn't run. It was as if every single nerve in my body decided to wake up and party at the same time. Marina pulled back with this little laugh that I could feel against my lips, her eyes sparkling as if she just knew something I didn't. See? She whispered, thumb brushing my cheek. Natural talent right here. Her confidence was contagious. And when Jamie stepped up, all careful touches and testing the waters, I actually leaned in. His hands found my hips, just enough pressure to guide me closer. The way he kissed? Slow and deliberate, as if he had all the time in the world. And suddenly, the room was spinning in the best way possible. Every little detail was a snapshot. Marina's hand on my shoulder, Jamie's fingers discovering the small of my back, Alex's warm breath on my neck as he watched and waited. It wasn't just about the individual touches anymore. It was this crazy layered thing where everything just blended together into pure sensation. Alex's lips found my collarbone, barely touching, but somehow setting my skin on fire. Jamie's thumb was doing these circles on my waist that sent heat spreading everywhere, and Marina's fingers in my hair were basically rewiring my brain, her laugh still somehow keeping me from completely losing it. Pure chaos, yeah, but the kind you never want to end. Every time I thought I knew what was happening, like Alex moving to my jaw or Marina's hand trailing down my arm, something new would catch me off guard. Marina kissed me again, more confident this time, and I couldn't help but kiss back, tasting wine and whatever that moment was made of. Somewhere in this beautiful mess, Jamie's hand found mine, and I just went with it, lacing our fingers together. He was this quiet anchor in the storm, different from the others, but just as intense. When he leaned in close, whispering something I couldn't even hear, his voice against my ear sent shivers everywhere. Time? Completely meaningless at this point. We were all movement and sound, laughing and whispering and sighing together. Alex pulled me close, his hands knowing exactly where to go, making me feel both safe and completely wild at the same time. Marina was back behind me, breathing these teasing little nothings against my neck, her hands guiding mine as she arched back with this smile that was pure sin and satisfaction. It was impossible to keep track anymore. Everything just melted into this amazing blur of sensation. 1 second, it was Alex holding my face as if I was made of glass while he kissed me breathless. Then suddenly, Marina was there, pulling me into her world of giggles and exploration, her eyes full of that "I told you so" sparkle. Then Jamie would step in, his hands on my shoulders doing this magic thing that turned my bones to jelly. His kisses were somehow like coming home, steady and warm. And I kept finding myself leaning into him, wanting that anchor in the middle of all this beautiful chaos. Finally, we all just collapsed onto this massive couch, tangled up together, trying to remember how breathing worked. Marina stretched out next to me like a satisfied cat, her head on my shoulder, humming some tune I didn't know. Alex was right there, his arm touching mine, while Jamie sat at the edge, head tipped back, wearing this subtle smile that said everything. "Well?" Marina broke the silence with her trademark grin. "That was not your average Netflix night." I laughed. This shaky, breathless sound that was somehow still totally real. Definitely not. Alex turned to me, all soft eyes and concern. "You hanging in there?" I nodded, still trying to get my breathing under control. "Yeah," I whispered, barely getting the word out. "I really am." Marina smirked, her fingers finding mine again. "Told you letting loose would be worth it." I caught her eye, feeling this smile spread across my face that I couldn't stop if I tried. "Maybe you're onto something," still kind of amazed at everything. The room got quiet then, but the good kind of quiet. I just let myself sink into this cocoon of warmth around me. It wasn't just about being tired or the lingering touches. It was this crazy, awesome realization that I'd finally let go of the control freak inside me, and instead of falling apart, I'd found something amazing.